Three-time Olympic rower Emma Twigg. She is no stranger to hard work, but this year you could probably argue she's been training harder than ever before after what could be described as a devastating fourth place in Rio. And the same 4 years earlier in London, Emma decided to put the boat on the rack and walk away. But luckily for us, that time away from the sport actually revived her hunger for it, and last week she reaped the rewards, a silver in the single scull at the World Champs in Austria. And it's wonderful to have Emma join us on the couch now. Emma, you powered through the heats, maybe a little bit tougher in the final. How happy were you with that silver?
To be honest, I was over the moon. It's been a phenomenal comeback this year, and Sunita hadn't been at the World Cups earlier in the year, so the final I went for it. I put everything out there, and I was really proud of the way that I raced and know that next year's a whole nother year. You've
had a ridiculously good 2019, haven't you? Wins at World Cup 2, World Cup 3, a win at the Royal Henley Regatta as well. What do you put your domination down to?
I think just being refreshed and having kind of a new perspective on the sport and what it is to be an elite athlete. Every single time I race now, I'm just loving being out there and appreciating that perhaps this is, the last couple of years that I'm going to be able to do it.
In Austria, you actually qualified the boat for the Olympics in Tokyo 2020. How are you going to ensure that it's you in it?
Yeah, that's a tricky one in rowing. The boat's been qualified, but we've still got to work really hard over the summer and prove to the selectors that I'm the fastest person for the seat. So that's the challenge in the next 3 or 4 months. I'm confident that if I continue as I have done, that it'll be me there, but you never know. Sport's an interesting thing, isn't it?
It is indeed. You talked about being refreshed just before. Can you talk us a little bit through the feelings that you had post-Rio up until now with, as we said earlier, walking away from rowing for a bit there?
Yeah, obviously Rio was absolutely devastating. To be fourth after having been fourth 4 years earlier, I really had to reconsider whether I wanted to invest my time into a similar result again. And who knows what will happen in Tokyo, but being away from the sport and working in Switzerland at the International Olympic Committee really reignited the flame, I guess, that I had for rowing and all the privileges that come with being an elite athlete.
So how tough is it to kind of shake off those past results as you look towards Tokyo?
It definitely plays in the back of my mind, but perhaps that's the motivation for me getting up every morning to train and work really hard. But at the end of the day, I think, again, I'm just proud to be representing New Zealand again, to be able to get up every morning and push my body and inspire some of the next generation of Kiwi rowers.
We say that you've qualified the boat, but let's be realistic for a second here. But what is the quality in the single sculls field like behind you? Who's pushing you for access to the boat next year?
So within New Zealand, we've got now 10, 11, 12 world champions in women's boats, which is phenomenal. We've had a fantastic year rowing New Zealand, especially the ladies.
Yeah, the eights.
So any one of those girls could decide that they wanted to be in the single scull and give me a hurry up.
They wouldn't do that to you, now, would they? That's unfair.
That's a bit mean.
Yeah, that'd be so mean.
Well, that's the nature of our sport, and I guess the beauty of what makes rowing New Zealand so competitive.
Can you imagine an Olympic rowing regatta without a couple of heroes like Mahe Drysdale and Hamish Bond?
It'd be a fairly different team, but those guys are incredible. They've paved the way for all of us, and having them on the team really makes us up our game. I think there's a lot of water to go under the bridge between now and Tokyo, and yeah, those guys are legends, so let's hope that they're somewhere in the mix.
Is there a single scullers club? Like, are you a part of a special meeting group with Robbie Manson? And if so, like, how's he feeling about his progress?
Yeah, I guess Robbie was disappointed with his result this year, and again, the beauty of our team is that there's a number of guys that could probably put their hand up for the single scull, so I'll let them deal with that kind of thing and yeah, focus on what I'm doing. But honestly, I have the utmost respect for all of the people in our team and the work that they put in.
Just lastly, probably a stupid one from me. Why are we so good at sitting down, going backwards on the water?
It's perplexing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. I don't know.
And we're no good in the water. Like, once we get out of the vessel, we're not that flash.
We've had some decent swimmers in our time. Yeah. I think on top's where it's at the moment, though.
Why? What's happening?
I don't.
Good program, obviously.
I think we've just been really lucky. People before us have paved the way, and we've got amazing funding funding from High Performance Sport, and it's created this culture and a really successful program for us, and now Lisa's paving the way in kayak.
A lot of people to learn from, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
Emma Twigg, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with Kate and I on the couch. Incredible success in 2019. Long may it continue.
Yes, well done.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Cheers for joining us.